Hey guys, welcome to this week's episode of D3 Live. So today we're going to be talking about the next generation Nintendo console, whether it's called the Wii 2, the Wii HD, or something entirely different. There's a lot to know about it, and there's a lot to expect. So the first thing is the release date, which is obviously a pretty big deal. Unlike the Xbox 360 and the PlayStation 3, I really strongly think that the Wii is not going to have anywhere near that lifespan. I think that the Wii will probably be replaced sometime next year. We'll be surprised maybe about a year or so from now that the next Wii does come out. And assuming that, there's a lot of easy guesses that we can make to see what we'll be expecting. So the first thing are the graphics. Now, it's not really a big surprise that the Wii really was not a big upgrade from the GameCube. In fact, very, very similar graphics as far as the power and all that kind of stuff. I expect this to change. I just can't see how Nintendo would sit still for 2 generations in a row. I just don't think that would happen. Now, whether the Wii is going to make a huge jump and get better graphics than the PS3 and the Xbox 360, I don't know, but I do think it will at least have some high-definition graphics. It should look quite a bit better than the current generation of Wii. I mean, I just really find it hard to believe that Nintendo would just go, okay, we're just going to add a little bit of motion or this or that. I think that they're really going to go ahead and upgrade the Wii with some better graphics, and just give it better online capabilities. They're going to really need to go ahead and step it up a little bit. However, I also don't expect that they will make a bunch of huge changes either. The Wii has been, while it's not doing so great right now, the Wii has sold so many consoles, it's been such a huge hit from Nintendo, that I really don't think that they're just going to go, okay, that was nice, but let's just throw it away and start from scratch. I think it will retain a lot of the same things. I think that it's going to be a very simple console as far as, no complicated menus, anything like that. It's going to be, pop your disc in, play the game, get to whatever you're doing, just like the current Wii is. But I also think that it's going to be a very small console. So that was one of the big things with the Wii, is that they wanted to make it as small as possible, which obviously makes sense, especially for the market that they were targeting. So unlike the Xbox or the PlayStation 3, which are pretty large for game consoles, I think the Wii is going to remain fairly small. It should add some new things, such as like HDMI out, obviously high definition TVs, some different things like that. But overall, I think the Wii should remain fairly similar in size. Now, one thing that I actually I'm really hoping for is that the Wii will actually gain Blu-ray support. So while a lot of people are saying, it's about time that we get into digital downloads, all I have to say is look at the PSP Go. I don't think we're there yet. I think eventually we will go into, not using any discs anymore and just using digital downloads. But for the current future, I don't see that happening, certainly not by next year. Now, while I think that we could probably get away with using DVDs again, just like the Xbox does, I think it would make a lot of sense if they were able to get a Blu-ray disc drive into it. Now, that certainly would raise the price. However, I think it would be worth it, especially because it would give the Wii another nice feature about it, so that you should go ahead and play your Blu-ray discs, and it would give a lot more data and a lot more room for all the different Wii 2 games. So that's about it. The only other major thing that I think that we will see is a redesigned controller. When the Wii Remote first came out, it was pretty revolutionary. It was very, very good. The Wii Motion Plus helped some. However, now when you look at the PlayStation Move and the Xbox Kinect, it's still kind of looking a little bit outdated. So I think that Nintendo is going to go ahead and upgrade some. Just like with the Wii 2, I don't think they're going to be a radical upgrade. I don't think it'll move to like using something like Kinect. I think it will probably remain just a controller. Could be wrong, but I do think that it will be probably just a more accurate Wii Remote. Maybe some kind of cool gimmicks. There's always coming up with new stuff. But on the whole of it, I don't see a ton of huge upgrades for the Wii 2. I think it'll have high definition. Probably will be, a Blu-ray player, should have a lot better graphics. However, on the whole, I think that it will remain a very similar console, just with some much-needed improvements. Okay, so for the second segment of D3 Live, I will be taking live questions. As always, every episode of D3 Live is filmed in front of Blog TV, and we have quite a few people in here today, so I'm going to just take some questions. Will the Wii get bigger or smaller? I think it will probably get a little bit bigger. After looking at the Wii, it's a very, very small console. I think it will get a little bit bigger, but I don't think it will get drastically big. I don't think it'll be anywhere near as large as a PS3 or an Xbox 360. What games do I think the Wii 2 will have? I think it'll be similar. I don't think that Nintendo is just going to break away from doing, the kind of family games, like Mario and all that kind of stuff. I think that they're going to mostly stick with that. However, I wouldn't be surprised with the increased graphical capability that it will probably get some better games, such as, stuff that you might find on the Xbox and the PS3. Wouldn't be surprised the Wii, instead, when a big brand new game comes out, you'll see it for the Xbox and the PS3. Well, I wouldn't be surprised if you now see it for the Wii too as well. I would definitely be something I would be looking forward to. So, I think it'll probably remain mostly the same, but there will be some more mature games, more first-person shooters, all that kind of stuff. Will they change the remote? Yeah, I do think they will change the remote. Now, as far as that, I have no idea how they will. Personally, I think it'll probably just be, more accurate. They'll probably, they might even go for a normal controller. They might go for the same kind where you just can plug a secondary controller in. Might be all wireless. I don't know. As far as that goes, all that motion control stuff and how they, come up with all these innovative ideas is way beyond me. But I do think they will change and they will improve, hopefully for the better. Will they bring Netflix, etc.? Yeah, I definitely think so. In fact, I wouldn't be surprised if the Wii actually gets something similar to apps. I know actually there have been some rumors that the Xbox 360 will be getting some sort of app support, maybe like an app store or something like that. I wouldn't be surprised to see the same thing on the Wii. I mean, people really like apps, obviously it's on the iPhone, but it's starting to spread out into different ways, and I wouldn't be surprised if the Wii gets something kind of similar to that, where, you can download Netflix, but you can also go ahead and do other things, maybe, like web browsers, etc., etc. Do I think the Wii 2 will overcome the PS3 or the Xbox 360? That's kind of a hard question. I think it's really going to come down to how well Nintendo was able to execute the Wii 2. Now, if it comes across as just a minor upgrade, if, the graphics are just so-so, it doesn't do a whole lot more, it just doesn't move the needle very far, then no, I don't think so. However, Nintendo, I just have to say this, I mean, for the first few years, they sold so many Wiis. I'm sure a lot of you guys remember, if you ever tried to buy a Wii, for the first 2 years or so, they were sold out non-stop. And I think that Nintendo absolutely does have the capability to do that kind of thing again, to just sell just ridiculous amounts of Wiis. However, it's really just going to come down to what all features they do and how they execute the Wii 2. So, yeah, it's kind of hard to say. Do I think there will be a Wii 4? Well, I don't know. Well, that actually kind of comes back to the name. As far as if they call it the Wii 2, I honestly don't know. Personally, I don't actually think it will be called the Wii 2. I would kind of expect them to call it something else. It could be like the Wii HD or something, but I would think that Nintendo will probably come out with, a brand new name. But honestly, like I said, I really don't know. It's mostly just speculation and just what everyone thinks it will be called right now. Any idea how expensive it will be? Probably more expensive than it is currently. I'll definitely give you that. One of the major reasons that the Wii is quite a bit less expensive than the Xbox and the PS3 is just because it has very, very old hardware. I mean, a lot of people don't realize, but the Wii, basically, for all intents and purposes, has GameCube and components with, Wii with Wi-Fi and Bluetooth. I mean, so that's obviously very cheap to make. I think it will definitely have to be increased, probably similar, maybe even a little bit more expensive than the Xbox and the PlayStation 3. But yeah, I do think it will be considerably more expensive. I don't think it'll be anything crazy like, when the Xbox and the PS3 first came out, I think it's like $600 and $700. I don't think it'll be that expensive, but I would probably look for $300, maybe even $400 for the starting price, of course. Do I think the Wii 2 is worth it? That's kind of a hard question again. I think that the Wii 2 definitely has a lot of potential, like I said earlier. As far as what the price would be, what all the features, exactly on all the specifics, kind of hard to see. But I do think that there's, like I said, a lot of potential. I think it very well could be a very great gaming console. Do I think there will be more than one color? I would hope so. The Wii took forever when they first came out. It was called the Revolution. They had a lot of different colors. I believe there were 5 or 6 pretty cool colors. But of course, the Wii came out. It was only in white. It was only in white for a long time. They've just now added a couple of new colors. So hopefully they do, kind of spice up the Wii 2 just a little bit. Anyway, guys, that's it for this episode of D3 Live. I'd definitely like to thank you all for watching, and if you're interested in seeing more D3 Live, definitely feel free to subscribe to the channel. I do these every Saturday at 3 o'clock Eastern Time, so you can go ahead, come actually watch it on the show. We usually play some games, and sometimes announce giveaways, all that kind of stuff. And of course, if you missed that, you can always watch the fully edited version on YouTube. So anyway, guys, thanks for watching.